Witnesses testifying about cell phone records to try to place Murdaugh at the scene, and guns that were sold to the Murdaughs. Again, building up to potentially the most damning piece of evidence the state has, a Snapchat video taken on his slain son's phone that allegedly puts Alex Murdaugh at the crime scene where he says he wasn't. Earlier, we saw a video of Murdaugh being questioned by police just after the murders, wearing what appears to be an unsoiled white T-shirt.
I pulled up and I could see him, and, you know, I knew something was bad. I ran out. I knew it was really bad. My boy over there, I could see it was...
Sorry.
I think I tried to turn Paul over first. You know, I tried to turn him over.
Did you touch Maggie at all?
I did. I touched them both.
Okay.
I tried to take, I tried to do it as limited as possible, but I tried to take their pulse on both of them.
Joining me again, Jesse Weber, anchor and host on the Law and Crime Network, which I own. He's been closely following this case. Jesse, thanks for coming back.
Thanks for having me.
All right, so let's first get this I did them so bad, we did them so bad thing. It doesn't seem like a big deal, right?
I hear it both ways. I think if the prosecution's case rests on if it's an I or they got much bigger problems. Because even assuming it was I did them so bad, you could say he was in an excited state, didn't know what he was talking about, or maybe he felt, I failed my son. Remember, his theory is that somebody was so angry about his son being connected to the boat accident 2 years before where a young girl died that they took it upon themselves to kill Paul and Maggie. Maybe he said, I failed. I should have done more to protect them. It's not the strongest piece from the prosecution's case.
And what is the significance of the shirt? They're basically suggesting that maybe he changed his clothes?
Okay, so if that's the case, they never found bloody clothes, which I would say suggests possibly bad police work. If his clothes are clean, then number one, how is it possible he would have shot someone at close range, and they really went into graphic detail about his son Paul, and there's no blowback on his shirt. But then the prosecution says, well, you said, Mr. Murdoch, you went to your wife and son, touched their bodies to check their pulse, but there's nothing on you. Now, Dick Harpootlian, who represents Mr. Murdoch, got one of the crime scene investigators to acknowledge there's some substance on him. Maybe not necessarily blood, maybe something else. But the fact that he's so clean is questionable.
Wasn't he wearing something different, though, earlier in the day?
So, yeah, but the big thing is, was he wearing the tarp? Remember, you and I talked about it. There was this blue raincoat that hasn't been talked about yet. The question I've had, and I've spoken with investigators, is it possible he was wearing that tarp when he fired? There was gunshot residue on the inside. I think that and the Snapchat video are going to be the most important pieces for the prosecution.
The Snapchat video. Let's play the prosecutor's opening statement telling what is on it.
Paul recorded a video. He was down in the kennels because he had been talking to a friend of his. And you're going to hear from this friend because his friend's dog was in the kennels and they thought there was something wrong with the tail. And Paul was recording a video of it to send to his friend. Paul's voice, Maggie's voice, and Alex's voice. Told anyone who would listen he was never there. At 8:44, in 55 seconds, there's a video. The evidence will show that he was there. He was at the murder scene with the two victims.
And this is why the interview with him was so important, right? Because what they're doing is they're having him place himself at certain places in roughly certain times, and now they believe that this Snapchat video could disprove what he said.
Right. So, A, it would make him look like a liar.
Right.
Why would he get that wrong? And two, it places him at the crime scene right before the killings. I'll tell you one thing the prosecution has done a great job of, showing when Paul and Maggie were killed. I think it's pretty clear it was around 8:50 p.m. because if you look at their text message history, you look at the phone calls, it stopped right at that time. So if we hear that Snapchat video at 8:47 and you hear or maybe even see Alex Murdaugh on that, I don't know how the defense gets past that. That's a big, big bombshell. Right now, not so convinced with the prosecution's case. I'm waiting to hear that.
And real quick, what do you make of this claim that maybe there were two shooters?
Okay, so the way the bullets, the trajectory of the bullets, Dick Harpootlian suggested to one of the crime scene investigators, is it not possible 2 shooters came? And she said, well, you know, it could have been a possibility, but could have been the shooter moved. But remember, 2 different weapons,
Right.
2 victims. You have to think that Alex Murdaugh would have gotten 1 weapon, shot 1 victim, got back, got a second weapon and shot the other, maybe had 2 weapons on him. I think the 2-shooter thing, there's something to it. I think it's at least something the jury might have to consider.
All right. Jesse Weber, thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your cable provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.